good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Rangers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rangers 5, Royal Antwerp 2. Join myself, Oxchair. On the show this evening is Port Bear. Evening, Mucker.
All right, mate. How we doing? What a game. What a game. I tell you, it was like watching a game of FIFA. Honest to God. It was like watching a game of FIFA, mate. I didn't know where that game was going to go. Obviously, we had a comfortable, cushion with them needing goals. But what a game of football, mate. I don't think
the score reflects it. At times it got a wee bit nervy for the last maybe 10 minutes of the first half. You think if they get another one here, we could be under pressure. But it took one of the naughty boys 16 seconds to turn it all around.
What an entrance, Oxtear. What an entrance, and what a way to repay the manager's faith. And the manager's probably booted his backside during the week and gave him a tail and a half. And let's be honest, he may have thought his Rangers career was over, but is that not the best way to go and repay your manager and show you want to be there, mate? What a finish. And can I just give special mention, mate? Special mention to Morelos tonight. That's him. All the 8 goals involved with that Antwerp game, he's involved in every one of them.
We scored 9, mate.
9, sorry. He's involved in every one of them anyway, it doesn't matter.
No, he was off the park for the last one, so I'll let him after. I'm going to say, I thought we started the game well, and Kent and Morelos, particularly at the front three, Hadji helped out a bit. But we can put control, go to the game, and I didn't see it get nervy at all, but it did, mate.
No, the first half of the game, it was like watching at the beginning of the season, wasn't it, mate? It was like the tempo, the pressing, Hadji's work rate at the first 80 minutes certainly was Kent, obviously setting traps, making them make mistakes, stealing the ball, and breaking and scoring on it. First 80 minutes we were outstanding. I just don't know where we seem to lost the last 15 minutes of the first half, and then obviously we got my control back in the second half, but certainly the first half here, mate, we were outstanding, breathtaking. I'm going to use that word, breathtaking, mate.
Some of the goals we scored, even the first goal, Morelos' goal was a good goal. Their equaliser was a good finish. We get obviously the second one for Nathan Patterson, mate, a great move. The third one, right, let me get this right now. The third one was Kent, yeah. What a move that was. Kamara to Hadji. Great turn by Hadji. Great turn. And then he played the pass up to Morelos, who skipped the guy. And then squares it to Kent. What a move. And then the fourth goal, the penalty kick. Barisic, I think he's going to have to open his body up, mate.
I think that's why he did the second one here. And I don't know. He stands, for me, he stands too straight on the ball, doesn't he, in his free kicks?
I need to work on that, mate, because obviously, I'm anticipating quite a busy night tonight. What are you thinking?
100%, mate. I think people will be sitting in the house buzzing to be phoning in and, they'll be ecstatic.
We're going to be playing a jingle in a second, so let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Rangers Radio is always evolving. If you're phoning in, please hang up and you'll speak to one. Please, when you phone in, speak to one of the receptionists and they'll let you know where you sit in the queue to bring you in, because believe it or not, Port Bear, we're getting quite busy on here.
Aye, we're becoming a bit of a juggernaut ourselves, Oxchair, a bit like our club's growing, Good Terry and Fox in the background working their backsides off, and fair play to them. As I said, I always say, if it wasn't for them, it'd be no show.
Correct, mate, correct. They're the men, they're the power behind the throne, mate. They're the power behind the throne. They too. So if you phone in, wait to speak to somebody, and then everything will be sorted. It's easy. It's changed a wee bit, Port, isn't it?
Aye, just phone in, give me your point, tell me you want to talk about it, and they'll bring you in, no problem. You get to speak to the good Oxchair there, and maybe me. if
you're unlucky. In all seriousness, mate, that was one of the finest centre forwards you'll see with somebody all round. got the goal with a finish, broke people into the play, caused that team problems all night. And they were a big athletic team, mate, but Morelos just that off a body strength. He's got excellent, mate, excellent.
He's not a big guy, Oxford. He's about 5'8" or something like that. You know, he's not a big guy. And, you know, like you're saying, he was dropping deep. Sometimes he was dropping so deep into our half or onto, you know, the centre circle just to get them. Obviously, it was a tactic employed to get them to follow apart, and then they were putting the ball in behind, weren't they? So it's always something they're working on. But his all-round game, his link-up, his new assisting in goals, and then he's starting to bang them in himself. That's Alfredo, mate, that we had last year in the Europa. That's the best I've seen him this year.
Aye, arguably his best game this season, mate.
Yeah.
We're worried about scoring goals. We're worried about the last 3 games, 4-4-5, mate.
Aye, well, we were worried, you know, we're forwards, weren't they? Getting involved. And I've probably special mention to Ryan Kent tonight as well, mate. I thought Ryan Kent was back to the Ryan Kent at the start of the season as well, the Talisman. He was excellent tonight, mate. Excellent.
Particularly in the first half an hour till we fell out of the game. Him and Morelos had them running all over the place, didn't they?
Aye, definitely.
Davis, Aribo and Kamara, right enough.
You think of the work rate, I mean, what they've got to get through, mate. See when they were at that first half hour when they were really pushing, pressing, the tempo was high. You know, that takes a lot out of guys, so I'm not going to call her in. Yep.
Stevie Fioslo. Evening, Stevie.
Hello, guys.
Hello, Stevie.
I mean, where do we start? My God. I made my dinner before the football, and it's sitting stewing nicely, and I still can't eat it. My stomach's in knots. I mean, like, my God. I've got a couple of criticisms, but I've got way more positives. I'm concerned about the goals that we conceded. I mean, 9-5. From an outsider looking in, what a game of football. But for a Rangers fan, who we've conceded, 2 goals at Ibrox, I think?
Yeah.
That concerns me. Me. But Morelos, my God, world class. Absolutely world class. Even tonight, when he, some guy had a hamstring, and he was basically down on goal.
Aye, Sportsman of the Year, Alfie.
You think you know him, but you don't. You never know him. You know, like, what's going on in his head? I don't know, but like, it just makes me love him even more. But he was absolutely world class. And we Patterson, I was one of the first guys to say, these guys with the COVID, get rid of them. Like, they're done. Like, so I apologise. I completely apologise to, is it Nathan Patterson?
Yeah, mate, yeah.
Yeah, I completely apologise. And I was so happy for him when he scored that goal. I mean, my God, guys, this is a roller coaster of a season, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know, mate. It just seems to be up and up and up. There doesn't seem to be any downs, mate. That's the problem, you know.
Aye, but what goes up must come down, and I'm always waiting for it, you know. I mean,
it's not going to happen, Stevie. Don't you worry. It's not going to happen anytime soon, mate.
I mean, I call a radio. Sorry?
30 league games, 10 in Europe, undefeated.
Wow.
Long live Stevie G. Wow. I mean, like, I call into a radio show, and like, I don't know why, because I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. But as I say, like, my stomach's in knots. I'm still on adrenaline. I'm so.
Listen, I've just had a call for Rudy Bear. He's trying to get a flight sorted because he knows there's a dinner gone spare.
But anyway, guys, you're going to be busy. I'm going to love you and leave you, but my God, like, that's all I can say. My God.
Brilliant, Stevie. Brilliant. Speak to you soon, mate. All right.
Yeah. Have a good one, guys.
Cheers, mate.
Enjoy your tea, mate. Enjoy your tea, mucker.
Speechless, Yorkshire, speechless.
Hi, talking about, we'll be joined by Southside. I don't know how he show his face after getting the tea right
Yeah, that was a share, wasn't it? That was a share. See, to be honest, it was an either or, wasn't it? But I honestly thought Arfield would have started, and I know a few people did, but another mad Thursday night against Royal Antwerp watching Rangers, innit?
Oh, mate, How do you sum that up, mate?
Hey, well, obviously we've won, mate, and it was a bit end-to-end at times. I thought, I mean, see, at one point, once we took control and we got the goal, even I thought at first we were going to go in and take a couple, but we went to 3-1 up, and then straight away we've just lost that goal with Big Goldstein and McGregor. But in Europe, you know what it's like, Ox and Port. No, we all know it. If we've watched Rangers for years, in Europe you get punished if you're not on it, and we've certainly been punished a few times in Europe, especially against them. But we're through, and on the positive side, I suppose we've scored more goals than them. So 9, I think, in it. So right, you look at it, we'll go into the next round and hopefully we'll take our chances, and hopefully on that night we'll be tighter in defence and we'll still hopefully score goals, mate. That's what it's all about.
What did you both? I'll go to Port first and then back to you, Southside, before we bring on some more calls. What did you make of the substitution? Do you think the booking had anything to do with it, or do you think it was tactical, Port Bear?
I think it was tactical, mate. I really do. I think they realised Balogun was, the boy Lukaku that was playing wide left for them was getting running back him all the time. And I think I'm not going to hang a big man out to dry. He's definitely not a right back, mate. I know he's played there for his country and that at times, but Nathan Patterson, when he came on, just looked more settled in that position, looked more natural, gave his the balance back. Lukaku ended up getting substituted because obviously shot him down basically. Exactly, mate. So I think it was tactical, mate. And by God, did it pay off?
I think about 16 seconds.
It was some introduction for Patterson, wasn't it? I think I agree with Port. I think it was a couple of times, even if you looked in the first half, Balogun had been up the park and then sort of the ball had been turned over and he was sort of applauding back because he's done a lot of work for the game on Sunday, and you're asking him to try and do it again. As I said myself, he'll do his best out there, but against better teams than that, if you want more down the right-hand side, he'll not be able to do that type of job for us. And obviously you've seen the difference when John Patterson come on, and even if he hadn't scored the goal, he still made a difference when he came on and he shut down, he was quicker. But I think Balogun done well. But it's a hefty shift, and plus he's 32 as well. You asked him to bomb up and down there the way we play. So I think it was just tactical, mate, and it was a great tactical switch, obviously. Is he give the manager a headache for the weekend, Southside?
Well, you need to go somewhere you get him at the weekend, Patterson, mate. Do you think he'll start the weekend?
No, I don't think he'll start at the weekend.
Do you think he'll start, Port?
I certainly think the manager might think about it, Oxshire. I really do.
Himself then, because we've not got a game.
Oh,
anyway, we'll go to Jamie.
The banter,
Sorry, Jamie. How we doing, Jamie?
Hi, Ox. Yes, cheers. How are you?
All right, mate. All right. I'm in a good place after that game. Excellent, wasn't it?
I'm quite emotional tonight, to be honest, because to be fair, I think that's the best we've played under Gerrard as a team. In an attacking sense.
That's a bold statement, mate. That's a bold statement. I mean, we did play some lovely stuff and good goals, but is that the best team we've played? I don't know, mate, but I'll give you 5 goals in Europe. The last 32, some gone. Best
not even just this leg, but the tie overall.
Right.
We totally bossed it. Goals all around the team. I thought the front three tonight were brilliant, and I don't think I've seen Morelos play better. And he's not getting the goals this season as much as he did in the last European campaign, but fuck me, he's contributing.
What's your language, mate? What's your language?
Sorry, but you know what I mean? He's involved in almost every goal over the tie. I don't think I've seen a better performance.
Oh, he's Southside, great performance for the wee fella.
Yeah, definitely. Over the 2 legs, he's terrorised them. Absolutely terrorised them. He was involved in 4 of the goals again tonight, same as he was in the last week. So, whether that's the best, I don't know. I actually thought Royal Antwerp, when I watched them after the first game, I didn't think they were that good, to be honest. That was my own opinion, and I shared it with 1 or 2 people. But obviously they had players missing, but I was just judging them on the team that they put out that Thursday night. I thought we bossed the game that week. And I thought we were bossing it for a wee bit tonight, and then they took a wee bit they got a hand in the game in the first half, had us under a wee bit of pressure. But I didn't rate them as a really good team, mate. I think we've played better teams and had better performances against them under Stevie G. Just my opinion, but
I give you that suicide. Yeah.
It would be up there, but it would be up there. I'll give Jamie that. It would be up there, be one of the best.
Definitely. Winning home and away, isn't it?
Aye. Anyway, we've been joined by Jaffa as well. Evening, Jaffa.
Hello, good evening, Ox.
How we doing, mate? I'm all right, mate.
Jaffa.
All better for hearing your dulcet tones, mate.
Oh, you're a superstar. You could come in any time. Is this the harmony, by the way?
All right, well. But some of us might get to the hammer, but some might not, yes.
Okay, well, I'll see you there then.
All right, me and Southside will be along.
That'll do.
Right.
Listen, what a result. I mean, what a result. How good are we? How good are the famous Glasgow Rangers?
Jamie's just said, Jaffa, and you can answer this, mate. He thinks that might have been the best performance out of 2 legs under Stevie G.
I think so. They were a really, really difficult side.
Yeah, very satisfied, very happy. I think the performance was outstanding in a lot of areas tonight. Obviously, conceded a couple of goals, which as a manager you've still got to take on board and try and analyse once the game's done. But I think some of our play tonight was outstanding. To get 5 goals, the way we done it, the first 3 were top high-level goals, especially Ryan Kent's one in terms of a team goal. And over the course of the 2 legs, we've looked dangerous throughout, and we thoroughly deserve to score 9 goals, if not more. But you know, as someone who wants to be a perfectionist, we still have to look at the few areas where we went wrong tonight.
How much confidence did the players take from the fact that they made a good Antwerp side look very average in spells over the 2 legs in this one?
To be honest with you, it's what we gave them in terms of the information. We told them that at our best we knew we could cause them problems. We watched a lot of games on them, and we knew that if we came to the party tonight, our front 3, we knew that we could cause them many problems, and I thought we were unplayable. We had a lot of variety. We hit them in different ways, and I think that was probably Alfredo's best performance tonight of the season. And as a group of a front 3, it's probably our strongest as well. They were unplayable at times. So I'm delighted. I'm really proud. To match last season's efforts is really good from the boys. And we'll see what the draw brings us now, but we want to enjoy it, we want to compete, and we'll see who we get.
You touched on Morelos there. Like you say, he was outstanding again. He scored, he had an assist, he won a penalty, and he was playing with a smile. He looks like he's really enjoying his football at the moment.
He likes this competition. And I know why he likes this competition. Listen, when he's at his best, he's strong, he can hold the ball up, he's clever, he's cute, he's physical, and that physicality is a big strength of his, because defenders find it really tough, especially ones that are not physically blessed themselves. And you looked at their back line tonight and it was there for the taking, I think, but he's still got to go out and put that performance in, and it was just a performance of all-round quality. I wouldn't have liked to mark him tonight, that's for sure.
Are you alluding to the people who watch this tournament, perhaps? It was quite a night for Nathan Patterson as well.
Quite a week. It should be the biggest learning curve of that boy's career. He's a fantastic kid, comes from a lovely family, and he needs to understand what the people from top to bottom of this club think of Nathan and the opportunity that he's got. And he needs to learn from this and make sure it doesn't happen again, because you see tonight he's a wonderful footballer with a big future, but someone who's got 4 kids myself, I want to be someone who gives people a second chance. You know, as a human being myself, I've made similar mistakes myself, so you know, I hope that he's took on board what we've said to him this week and he learns from it, and he's going to have to take probably a little bit more punishment that comes his way. That goes for the 3 of them, but it's been a whirlwind week for him, and hopefully that helps him in terms of his development.
Was his introduction tactical, or was it an injury to Balogun?
There's a bit of a niggle in there with Leon's quad muscle, which we'll check out. We don't think it's too bad, but I think we've done the safe thing. Leon's playing in a different position. It's a different type of running, getting up and down, compared to when you're playing in the middle as a centre-back. So bit of precaution, and obviously listening to the player, rather than it go worse and then we miss him for weeks and weeks. Hopefully it's just days.
I know it's what happens on the pitch that's important to you, but you've now surpassed Walter Smith's European record for wins with this club. What does it say about the players, and how proud are you of the steps taken on the pitch in Europe since you came in?
Extremely proud. When I came in, there was still a lot of noise about this team not qualifying at the first hurdle at this competition. So it was important we improved on that. I think the board made it abundantly clear that for this club to be successful and compete, it needs to qualify and be good in Europe. So obviously taking that on board, but it's the boys that deserve all the credit for that. And I shouldn't be named in the same conversation as Walter Smith, especially not standing here just now.
Thank you for your time and well
Thanks
done
very much.
tonight.
All the best. Thank you.
Cheers.
Humble, but
Jaffa. You're so lucky to have that guy as your gaffer.
Oh, he's you kind of run out of superlatives, don't you, to describe the fella? He's I'm telling you what, he is sing. There's nothing else there's nothing else like Stevie G on the market at the moment. We are incredibly lucky to have him. We've just got to, I mean, I spoke to a few weeks back, we've just got to relish having him. He's brilliant for us, he's brilliant for Rangers, he's brilliant for everything we're trying to do. And he's setting the benchmark, Ox. No matter whatever happens with Stevie G, see what he's left behind and what he's created at Auchenhowie and what he's created inside our club. I'm telling you, that brand, that narrative will continue for the foreseeable future, for years to come.
Jamie, before we get some more callers in, Jamie?
I know, I was pleased that he kind of agreed with the front three and the Morelos thing, but I don't have much more to say, Ox, to be honest. I really just think that was a brilliant team performance. Barisic giving the ball for the penalty as well to Itten, I thought was brilliant. Morelos at the end of the first half, stopping the play because he realised that the player was injured. That is Rangers class. That's what I want from our Rangers team. That's the way I want us to conduct ourselves on and off the park. So I don't think I've been more proud this season than what I've seen tonight.
Well said, Jamie boy. We'll get some more callers coming, and always great to speak to you, mate. We speak to you soon, mate.
No worries. Thanks for having us on.
All right, cheers, Jamie. Brilliant to hear from you, mate. Brilliant. I can't argue with that. Southside Alfie gets a record. Stevie G's getting records. Bridgeman's buying records. We can't go wrong, you know what I mean?
I know, it's good to see Alfie breaking the records in Europe. He's been really good for us over the few seasons that he's been with us, you know. And I expect him probably to maybe get another one in the next round as well or two. And obviously, when you listen to the manager, Ox, it's always great to listen to him. He speaks very well, always speaks honest. He knows about the game. He watched the team. He'll assess it and he'll speak about it the way he sees it and the way we've probably seen the game. So it's always an honest opinion, mate, but it's always refreshing when I'm listening to him, mate. I love to listen to him and hear what he's got to say about the Rangers.
Port Bear.
Aye, mate, he's very, very humble. That part when he's mentioned, you know, he says to the girl there, you know, Emma Dodge, don't mention me in the same sort of voice with Walter Smith yet. You know what? He's very, very humble. He's heard about, you know, very complimentary about the team. It's not about him, you know. There's a lot of managers out there that they make it about themselves, but he understands, I think, very much so who he's managing, and he's in a fortunate position, you know. So he's doing fantastic, mate. He's a global brand. I knew that when we got him. I knew the Gerrard. I knew of his brand. I knew about his, you know, quality in the English league and how you know he developed as a young player to where he is now. He's just class, mate. Absolute class, and he's installed that back into Rangers, in my opinion. And we're a team to fear, Oxford again. I don't think any team will fancy us in tomorrow's draw. I really don't.
What is that this season? We played, was it 3 qualifiers, 6 in the league and then another 2, so that's 11 we've played. We've, what is that? We've won 9 and drew 2. Some stats, I mean, you know, Jaffa, some stats a man's getting.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it is incredible, utterly incredible. I have a question for you. I was thinking about this the other night, you know, right, in view of the UEFA Cup game coming up this Thursday, after last Thursday's heroics over in Antwerp. And my question is to you, do you think, or you guys on the panel, to Port Bear and to Southside, do you think that the current Rangers team is better than the team that got to the UEFA Cup final in 2008?
Oh. We'll do that. We'll start with the oldest and we'll work our way down. Right, your first port.
Very good. God, it's a hard one. I'm going to go with this team because of how it developed, how Gerrard came into practically nothing. You know, there is James Daverne and that still there, but the way he's developed that squad, you know, and got there in two and a half seasons, he's about to roll in 55, and then obviously got to the last 16 twice. I would say this team's a better team. Aye, definitely.
Oh, all right, Southside. That's a toughie.
Hard. As well, if you take what was it onto that role, you'd have had Fiorentina. We had hang me. Beat them 2-0. Sporting Lisbon. We're in the Champions League first as well, and that hang me. But I think we play better football. I definitely believe we play better football in Europe. But see, the new mate, it's a hard one to answer. But it's a good question you've hit us with there, to be honest.
Hello.
I'll cut across you. Evening, Tommy.
Hello, Ox.
Hello, mate.
Yes, very good performance.
Yeah,
very good performance, Ox. For the first 30 minutes, absolutely fantastic, Ox. Just absolutely brilliant. And then, bump, get away a goal. And like you said, for the last 15 minutes, you're thinking, no, here we go. And then the boy Patterson, good goal, puts his break 3-1 up. And then you think again, here we go. And then we get another soft goal away. But all in all, Ox, I thought it was a great performance.
Aye.
Morelos was just unplayable.
I let Jaffa answer that. Jaffa, unplayable. That sums him up, doesn't it?
Oh, he was ridiculous tonight. Brilliant. Absolutely. What I mean, we said this the other week there. I love him. He's, you know, I think this could probably be the time he leaves us in the summer. So every time he comes on the park, I just love watching him. I think he's unplayable as a centre forward. He's the best centre forward in this country by a country mile.
Can't argue with that. Can't argue. Shuggy, Tommy, I think you got a bit of background noise there, mate.
Sorry?
Somebody's got a bit of background noise. Might not be you. That's it. Port Bear, can't argue with that. Morelos, unplayable. Can't argue with it.
No, mate, you know, I think that's why when Emma Dodd's asked Gaffer, you know, Gaffer knows why he loves playing that well in that tournament. And I think we all know deep down, there is one time in one summer or one transfer window where he'll certainly go. So, you know, we've got to enjoy him where we've got him. And if he can keep that form at the end of the season, mate, get his 7.5 league goals, maybe get us to the next round of this next European round. Mate, you know, sky's the limit for that boy. Sky's the limit for that. But I rate him so highly next year because I could imagine him playing in La Liga, even in the Premier Division down in England. I could imagine him in these leagues terrorising people.
I don't know if he'd get in your 5-a-side team, Rangers. You know
what about getting us to a UEFA Cup final?
But you never know. I think it was said a few weeks ago, Jeff, and I'll take this to Tommy after you. It's a cup competition. You just sometimes a bit of luck, mate. That's all you need, you know.
That's all you need, Ox. A bit of luck. You never know who you're going to get in the next round. You never know.
Right, and you
just never know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're right. And the luck of the draw. I mean, last year we got Leverkusen. We were a great team, really good team. Best team I saw at Ibrox last year. And obviously, what happened with COVID. But you don't know. And I'll tell you what, the 16 teams that are left in the competition, 15 of them won't fancy getting the Glasgow Rangers, that's for sure.
Here.
Yeah, second that.
Here. We asked the boys before you come on, and I'll go to you first. Tommy and then Jaffa with the same question. The masterstroke with Gerrard, he admitted there it was because Balogun had an injury. Sometimes you're better being lucky than good, eh?
Sure, to take Balogun off was a bit of a brave decision, but it's like he just said there on the telly, Ox, the boy had a bit of an injury, so ideal replacement in the boy Patterson to come on and then to get the goal after 16 seconds. Was it a fantastic decision?
I think Cal's got the show on in the background. Cal?
It's up now, Ox.
The idea is to turn it off before you get on. I know you're not the brightest we've got, Carl, but you've got to
Oh, you know that. I'm a 20-watt bulb.
Mate, describe that game to me. Go on, Carl, describe it to me.
Hey, do you want me to describe it? We're the Rangers. What do you expect? High and low. Performance outstanding. And anybody that's going to play us are going to have skid marks all over their pants.
Right,
and that's all I can say, really. I mean, amazing. If Edwards worth 30 million, how much worth is Morelos went up the night?
Not the same. They're not the same class, mate. The boy at
No,
Morelos.
I hear this, they'd be better in the Premier League, he could go there. Why go there? We'll be playing Champions League. You go to a team in England, you're going to be playing in the whatever League Cup, and that's it.
Hello.
Oh, we've been joined by our Amanda. Evening, Amanda.
Well, what can you say about that tonight? Just outstanding, wasn't it?
I don't think it was
absolutely outstanding. Just a whole performance was outstanding. I mean, when we lost that goal to start, we were thinking, oh my goodness me, that's it. It's going to be carnage. But then we came to again. So, great performance. The whole team just, okay, it was a couple of wee minutes. McGregor had a couple of wobbles, but then that's part of the there's part of being a fan in it. But no, it was great. It was just fantastic. What did you make it?
Southside.
I just thought it was started a bit like the week before. They scored a goal, and then they sort of come into the game. And then once we scored again, I thought that was it. We'd start taking charge again because we were playing well at the time. But the other piece, I just think we'll beat them. And like you were saying about Alfie, talking about maybe if he's going to get help. When you're scoring goals in the European competitions, that's where you'll get judged most of the time. You will get judged for scoring goals in Scotland, but they don't really think the league's that great. So the way he's been scoring in Europe, that will attract teams, and that's how probably we'll get decent money for him in time when the time comes and he wants to leave and the club want to take the money.
Yep.
I just think the whole team up for game tonight altogether, and I just think, again, it comes to that, if you lose a goal, you've got to step up and show that you're capable of getting back in it, and we done it on some umpteen occasions tonight, do you know what I mean? But it's no good for your nerves, it's certainly no good for your nerves. So definitely be getting that cardboard cut out of Stevie G if it carries on the way it's going. I'm sorry, that was Linda that was getting that one.
You well, Amanda?
Eh?
Do you want one as well?
Well, I mean, if I could get one, I'd stick them in my window and show the world what I am. I'd love to show a lot of my neighbours what I really am, do you know what I mean? But there you go. Anyway, listen, I'll let you go and let more callers get in. But have a good night, and I hear it was another good result tonight. And here's moving on to the next one, do you know what I mean? So, anyway, have a good night. Keep the faith, guys. Keep the faith. Okie doke.
Right, Amanda.
Oh, what a lassie, Porter.
Oh, what can I say? Oh, still, I've got a wee question, mate.
You could send in your life, your cut out of Stevie G. You don't do that.
I'm no part of that, let me tell you. I'm no part of nothing.
Cut out's bigger than Mark, innit?
Yes, mate.
I've still got a cut out of Jardell's missus.
Well, aye. Don't blame me, mate.
I bet she's not aged a bit.
No, she's not. She's looking fantastic. Jardel oil. See that oil of you like cream?
Well, I'm trying to think. Right, when you go, Portman.
Aye, somebody I asked you, obviously, in the call that's in the call. Antwerp, I looked at it when we first threw the box and I thought, right, it's probably one of the easier teams we could have drawn through in the tournament. But when I've looked at the rest of the teams, we beat Benfica, Porto, to name but a few, and we'll beat them well. I've got a couple of wee doubts in my mind in regards to how open we were. Or, was that their style of play that was causing us to be so open? Especially in the season we've had where we're not conceding goals, we're tight, we've not lost games. I just found that a very, very strange tie-off there. And then we go into the last 16, you know, you can't be as open like that as we go as further on in the tournament, or even in the league, Oxford.
There's two sides to that coin, mate, and you're right to lose the goals that we lost to the tie. You wouldn't be happy with. But if you took the 2 minutes, the mad 2 minutes away from the first game, actually we've won the tie 9-2. You know, it was that couple of minutes that made the tie competitive, mate. Because really, we were in complete control. Most of the first half over there, and then the second half, how they managed. They scored the first time in that apart, but they're an offensive team, better than the stuff we watch most weeks. Tommy.
Yeah, as I said to you, I'm quite happy to settle for that. Some of the football we played was, again, in the first 30 minutes was just tremendous. There's only one team going to win it for me. And then we get away. It's a bit of a decent goal. I thought that boy Lukaku looked actually pretty decent, and I thought he gave Big Balogun the runaround. So it was quite good that Patterson came on, because he never beat Patterson once, and they took him off. So I thought it was. I'm quite happy with the result, Hawks, and to score 9 goals against any team in Europe, Hawks, is no bad.
Aye, first comment. Carl, when you comment.
Well, that guy Lukaku should have been booked for persistent fouling for a start.
Absolutely.
Right. And, okay, Balogun's not the greatest. I heard Stevie G saying he's got a knock. But, let's face it, the way it went tonight, Patterson came on, played great, right? But are we going to see him to January when the SFA gets a hold of him? To next January? That's the whole thing.
We'll cross that bridge when we come, you know what
I mean? What bridge is that, Ox? And give a wee apology to Bridge. I missed his round-up of the game on Monday night because of unforeseen circumstances. And that's the thing I look forward to.
If you look,
I'm a big sook, isn't I?
Yeah, but he is a star. If you look in the Rangers Radio archives, mate, you'll find Monday's show there, mate, yeah?
I know that, but she'll not allow me to watch it every 5 minutes, you know.
All right, okay.
I'll be perfectly honest, and Stevie G, I heard before, he might be a diamond in the rough, but that guy is polished. You know what I mean, Knox?
Aye.
That guy is polished. And good night, best wishes, and next Wednesday, no the weekend, we're winning again, and that's it done. Night.
Take it easy, Carl. He's a man, isn't he? Port Bear.
Aye. He's bang on with pretty much everything he says, mate. You know, we're very lucky to have a guy like Steven Gerrard, you know, and the way the whole team's been built up over the transfer windows and over the seasons, he's turned us into, you know, we're almost there at Oxford. We're in touching distance now of 55. We're in the last 16 of Europe, and yet again, and you know, people said rookie manager. I remember all the crap I was getting at the very start when we first got him. He's done some job, Oxford. He's done some job for a rookie manager, if you want to call him. I would never call him that, but this is just some of the wordings that have been said about that guy. And to turn around a team as quick as he has, and he has done. And he's finished off that mob for the East End. He's finished them. Their manager's chucked it. Their chief exec's on their way to the door. Gerrard's done all that on his own, but off his own back with that team, Oxford. And you know, long may it continue. And fair play to the guy.
So, what have you adventures in Europe over the years, mate? Some on the pitch, some off the pitch, but the offensive way and the results that Stevie G's got, you couldn't have predicted that when he walked in the door, mate. He's only lost 5 games against some right good sides.
It's phenomenal, Ox. You know, the way since he's come in and the way he's built the team and took us through Europe. For all the games that we've played, I think it was starting in Scoops. He was the first one, and it's just he seems to know tactically how to date in Europe, and he's groomed the team, and we've made them we've put it into a system, and it is dramatic, mate, because over the years we've had some good players and some good Rangers teams, but more or less individual. We don't really have a standout world class player out in the park or like we had in the past with Laudrup and Gascoigne playing in Europe. So we've got good players, and the differences made in the club is night and day. And to be up there surpassing Walter's record as well in a short space of time, it's phenomenal, mate. It's phenomenal. It's a joy to watch. It's just a pity that somebody's going to get to some of the games, especially at home and away, mate, especially for the trips that they've been the last couple of years. It would have been great just to get there and watch it as well.
Aye. And you come, Tommy, before we bring in some more callers, mate.
Well, I was just going to say, Ox, I think we'll even see a different Rangers team next season in that Champions League. I think he'll bring in more players that have played at that level. And I think we'll see not a completely different Rangers team, but I think we'll see a different team again next year, Ox, because I think he'll go out and people want to play for Stephen. People want to play for Stephen Gerrard. So I think you might see another Rangers team again next year, Ox, even at the Champions League level. So, yeah, I just think so far, so good. But I'll leave you anyway, Ox, so you can get more callers in. Thanks for having me on your show.
Well, anytime, mate, anytime. You're always welcome. You know that, mate, yeah?
Cheers, Ox.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot, mate.
Thanks. Bye.
Aye, he's right. We can't stand still, but we'll talk about it in the future. I think it's only right, Jeff, I'm sort of concentrating on tonight's performance.
Port was saying there about what being a bit open. I know what you mean, Port. We did look a wee bit open, but I think you've got to give that team credit. They're a decent team. They've got some cracking individual players in their team. I mean, I particularly liked the Israeli boy. Was it Relevov? I thought he looked a really tidy player. He looked really good for me. He did, and I have to say, it was glaring to both legs. It was a very physical game, and believe it or not, we don't get away with that kind of play in the Scottish Premier League. I mean, look what happens to Alfredo Morelos every time he has a wee kick, a wee nick at somebody. He's up in front of a panel and he gets a 3-game ban. Look at some. I mean, the big boy it got was the big fella that was red carded last week. Man alive, he was brutal last week. Aye. But what I would quantify that by saying he looked a really good player. But my word, he was a handful and a half. He was a big fella, and he was throwing himself about. And some of the players tonight were doing the same. I mean, Hadji got a couple of nips. Lukaku, albeit he's a great footballer, but he knows what he's doing. So we're just not used to playing those kind of teams week in, week out. And when you come up against them, I think Gerrard deserves an enormous amount of credit for navigating away past them. And he's not just navigated past them; he's absolutely scooshed them, hasn't he?
All right.
I'm just surprised, Jeff.
I think we'll be joined by a caller. Is it Gordon? Has Gordon joined us?
No, well, if it's me you're talking to, it's no Gordon.
All right, sorry, mate. Oh, Billy. Sorry,
Billy, can I just put this thing? Hold on, give me a second. I was a wee bit late coming in there. I was engrossed in the interview with Gerrard and everything else.
Turn the show off, Billy.
We'll
bring you back in, Billy. You need to turn the show off, mate. It's very off-putting for the two Algians on here, Port Bear and Southside. Billy will be back in a second. On you go, Port.
Just to come back to obviously Jaffa's point there. Jaffa, I'm so used for us not losing goals, even in Europe. I just think it's very, very different to watch us being so open and defensively poor. And I'm going to say we were defensively poor because so far this season we don't lose goals like that, mate. I've seen obviously communication between McGregor and Goldson when they nearly took each other out. There's a couple of Joe Aribo no following runners as well. I think it was their second goal. And Rafaelov was went in the front post. It looked offside to me, to be honest. But Joe Aribo doesn't see that danger in his own box. But apart from that, I'm not used to conceding goals like that, mate. They were very, very soft goals to concede. That's all I was getting at.
Totally get your point.
I think we've been joined by Gordon from New Zealand. How are we doing, Gordon?
How you doing, Ox? All good, boys?
All right, Gordon.
Yeah, good. What a fantastic result.
Here. Southside.
Sorry?
Hi, Gordon. It was a great result tonight, mate, wasn't it? Absolutely brilliant.
Fantastic.
I think you'll agree, probably Alfredo involved with four of the goals again tonight. Absolutely played a brilliant game, mate, and absolutely run them ragged tonight again, didn't he?
Yeah, it's wonderful to see him playing with a smile on his face. I mean, the wee man's obviously had a few problems over the last couple of seasons, the way he's been treated, and he's kept his head up. And Stevie Gerrard, he's managed him quite well, and he's accepted his faults and his stuff because he knows the player he is. And it's just wonderful to see. He's proud to be a Barry. I mean,
Aye, mate. Aye, he was brilliant tonight, mate. Probably, like I heard Stevie G saying earlier, he thinks it was one of his best games in a Rangers jersey. So, aye, there were some good performances, mate. Ryan Kent was good tonight as well, I thought. And I thought Kamara played well at times. And like we were talking about earlier there, you're talking about losing goals in Europe, Portland being a wee bit open, but you're playing against better players than they play in the SPL. And if you get a wee bit slack in Europe, mate, you're going to tend to get punished, you know. It's no like they're far better players you're up against, but if we can tidy up, like you're saying, for the next round, mate, we stay a wee bit tighter, then so it's just a bit of luck we need as well, and hopefully we'll progress again.
Right, all right, Billy's back with us.
Well,
Billy,
hello,
you back, Billy?
Hello. Yes, hello. How are you doing? I was a wee bit late getting in there. I was listening to Stevie G, watching the game. I was thoroughly impressed with Rangers tonight. I thought they were unbelievable.
Yeah, Morelos, what about Morelos' performance, Billy?
Oh, unbelievable. But by the way, what's he worth now? What is Morelos worth? Tell me.
He's starting at 25, I think, mate.
Oh, my God. I just hope we can keep the same team next year. I hope we keep all the players. I hope we keep everybody. They all want to play in the Champions League. Don't know if it's going to happen, but I hope we do. And the job that Stephen G's doing is totally unbelievable. Totally unbelievable. And I was a wee bit worried when I seen when he's brought the boy from Aberdeen in. And Gamgee's not been taking players on so much, but I watched him at night. He was going at people in the Champions League, and he's taking guys on. I'm saying, what is it? And you see young Nathan Patterson play the way he played. Oh, by the God. Totally unbelievable. But the big boy Balogun, he just looked a wee bit out of place instead of playing centre half. He's playing right full back. But see when Nathan Patterson come on, you never seen that boy Lukaku kick a ball after that. Did you notice that?
No, he closed him down.
Kicked a ball after that.
Mm-hmm.
Rangers were unbelievable, totally unbelievable. All right, the 2 goals could be preventable, but they were fantastic, Rangers. Fantastic.
Well said, Billy. Well said. I think Robert's joined us. Evening, Robert.
How you doing, guys? First time caller. Thanks for taking the call.
Oh, brilliant. Good to hear from you. I'll pass you to Portbear. Robert, first time call.
Yeah, how we doing, Robert? Welcome to Rangers Radio. Aye, what did you think of that tonight, then, mate?
It was outstanding. I think that's a performance that we've been waiting on the past few weeks. Obviously, domestically, these 1-0s, and they're going to take them. But I think tonight, over the 2 legs as well, that's the performance we've been needing and wanting. And Alfie was just sensational. To be involved in every goal was top class. And that's him at his best, I think.
Yeah. Now, who else shone for you tonight, apart from Alfie? Anybody else stand out for you tonight?
Just the whole team. The boy Patterson, see when he came on, I was like, I said, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be one way or the other, because the boy Lukaku had Balogun the first half completely. But I think the caller there said the boy never got by Patterson. He didn't. He was putting back. He couldn't go by him. Didn't take any take-ons. So credit to the boy. 19 going through the past week he's had to come into a European game like that and put a performance in, and a goal just tops off for him.
Well said, mate. Well said, Hoxdale.
I'm going to ask Gordon this. Patterson can do something Tav can't do. I don't know if you noticed it, Gordon.
What?
He can throw a ball.
Oh, he's a young boy. He's had a hard week. I mean, like that. I think what he done the 4 boys, like that. Sorry?
He can throw a ball down the line. He moves you about 40 yards up the pitch with his throws.
Yeah, I mean, the boy's got the goods. I mean, like, I felt sorry for him and the boys it happened. He made a mistake, but they're back on. They've apologised. They're back in the fold. So we've done it gently. And the club done it well. The club did it well. Gerrard and the boys handled it well. They put him back into the fold, gave him a slap in the wrist and all that, and told them where they were. I mean, just glad to see him on the park, to be quite honest.
It is some story, Jaffa. 16 seconds. I know you've done the damage in 16 seconds before, but it doesn't happen that often.
12 and a half auctions, but giving me a wee bit of credit there. He's again, that's brilliant man management, isn't it? It's brilliant man management. You heard Gerrard at the end there, but talking about the young lad. He comes to a lovely family, and he's in a big learning curve. So basically, in roundabout way, what he's saying to him is, look, put it behind us. Let's get back to playing football and concentrate on your football career at Glasgow Rangers and develop and stick with me, and I'll show you how to do it, basically. And better than that, you can't ask for. But the young lad, he was brilliant tonight. He was really good. He took his opportunity. And, you hear that so many times in football. You get your opportunity, and so many players, they either crumble or they don't take it. He's come back. It says a lot about his character as well.
What pleased me, and I'll take this to Billy. Billy, see when he scored the goal, the whole team were running.
Yes. Yeah. Can I ask a comment on that, if you don't mind?
I only go back.
Like the way the boy played, right? He's been born a Rangers player. What I want to see now, and I'd love to see it. I'm 74 now, but I'd love to see it the next couple of years and see more boys with his upbringing and what they think. I'm talking about Scottish boys, what they think of Rangers. And there's a lot of young boys out on loan with different clubs. You look at the boy Williamson. I've always caught him a couple of times on the telly. He looks some prospect, by the way. And I want to see these boys coming through and wearing the blue for Rangers, because all these players play well for us. They're all brilliant, but I'd love to see some Scots boys come really through for Rangers to really show.
It's always special. One of our own make it so.
Yeah.
And I want to see more like that, honestly. And I love the day when a lot more of them come through. And I think there will be in the next few years. I think there'll be a lot of them coming through.
So you said it's always special when one of our own makes it into the team.
I'm thinking straight away. You're probably thinking somebody like Barry Ferguson, somebody like Alan Hutton, and even Alan McGregor. Your point. So
the Barry Ferguson, but the Barry Ferguson. I thought you mentioned somebody else.
Barry Ferguson, mate.
Oh, he's a phenomenal player. Fantastic.
I know, and so. It's great when hopefully we'll maybe get another few boys through, but Patterson probably is ahead of most of them. There maybe be another one or two who's out on loan, but next season again, mate, we're talking probably about up in the ante. We'll probably get some more players in. There'll be some players that people might not think will leave, and Stevie G will have his eye on better players, and then obviously we're hoping that boy Patterson, anyway, this going into next season can maybe progress with him. And fight Tav if Tav's still there next season, and carry on and progress them. As the rest of them are out on loan when they come back, mate, they'll have a hard job as well trying to get into the team. But it's something we'd like to see, mate. Definitely, you want to see academy boys make it, especially if they've been there at a long time, and they're especially blue noses as well, and they love the club, so they know what it is to play for the club, mate. So in the future, mate, it'd be good to see that happen. Definitely.
I'd love to see it happen.
Well said, Billy. And you come, Gordon, you'll have some thoughts on that, mate, even the far away in New Zealand.
Yeah, well, there's a young boy called Kai something. He plays, I think he's with the Rafe Rovers or whoever he plays for. One of the championships. Yeah, he's a decent player. I've watched him a few times. He's tidy. But it's going to be hard. As the boy said, it's going to be hard for him to through, because Gerrard's looking at a quality of player, and there's a standard being set that Gerrard he's raised the bar, so he's got a standard. And for the young boys coming through, although they've got great skills and good pedigrees and whatever, it's going to be tough for them. And it's only the very, very special ones that will come through. I mean, you've seen it happen at Celtic with their mob. I mean, how their young boys are all going to the club. Sorry, did I spare it? I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a story. And a wee Chinese boy came on my door last night. He said, "Are you Gordon?" I said, "Aye." He said, "Well, the guy in the shop says there's no fireworks." He said, "Can I have some?" He said, "It's Chinese New Year." I said, "I was saving them for the party."
And you come, Robert, and you come, mate.
Welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party. You with us, Robert?
I'm here, right? I'm here.
Aye. Great result, great performance from a good place. I think that's, as I said earlier on, I think that's 41 games in the league in Europe undefeated. I think 6 straws in it. It's remarkable, mate.
It's remarkable from where we've came in such a short couple of years, been down the way to the bottom again, and just the rise up's been phenomenal. And I think we've had to go through some torrid times with managers and things to get to where we are. But where we are now, it's great to be back, and we are back where we belong, in amongst European elite football. Champions League next season, test ourselves even more. It's a good foundation to work on for the next few years ahead anyway, that's for sure. And speaking about the young boys coming through, I think a vital thing is Gerrard. He came through the youth at Liverpool. He knows what it's like to be in these boys' position. And I think when he came into us, he did say he would give youth a chance if they're good enough. And it's down to the boys in the academy to prove they are. You've got Patterson.
They've got to be good
enough.
King
on the bench. And Patterson's had a learning curve. There's no doubt about it. He almost flung it away. He's got a second chance, and boy, he took it tonight. The relief on his face, the togetherness with the players, the celebrations, and that's what it's about. That's what Rangers Football Club is. It's a family. It's togetherness.
I mean, not every young boy can be like me or Southside choir boys and get through life without any mishaps, you know.
Sometimes grown up's a harsh lesson, isn't it? Oh.
Aye, it's rubbish. It's rubbish. I'd rather be his age and make mistakes, mate. I'm going to be honest with you.
Oxford, Southside. I'm going to pick up on something else tonight I've noticed, and it was all about the Nathan Patterson thing and all the celebration. And over the 2 legs, I think Rangers yet again, as I've shown throughout the season, I don't know how he's done it, but he's installed, some character, belief, whatever you want to call it. They're steel men. They just look unbeatable. The character's unbelievable, and I've got to take my hat off. They're a team. Aye.
He's a team. He's developed a team, mate. Southside and then Billy.
Well, we know what he's like as a player, and Stevie G's a winner, right? And see what we've seen at Parkhead that year when he went mental at New Year and that. That's what he'll be like when we win this league, right? But he's obviously changed the persona within, but he's a winner and he's turning these players into winners. I never get beat attitude, and we can see it. Because you only need to look at the results. And I know most it's in Scotland, but look at the European performances. That's where players get judged as well, and
you're here, mate.
That's the difference.
Cut across your Southside, we'll get on the callers. We'll get that many callers coming in, the 2 receptionists have they didn't notice. Last word for you before we go to a tune. Billy?
For me? Billy?
And we'll go to...
We're just talking about the young boys. Stevie knows when to speak of young boys coming through at Liverpool. And I think there's a lot of right good young boys at Ibrox. And I think you'll find in the next year, I know we're going to sign better players. I've no doubt about that. We'll sign better players. Some will go. I don't want everyone to go, to be perfectly honest with you, but maybe 1 or 2 will go. But I look forward to the time that Rangers are bringing through class. And if you notice the difference in the last few years, the difference of the youth coming through, there's boys from Northern Ireland coming through, boys, but people haven't heard it. 3 centre forwards that you can mention. There's umpteen players. And I watched the boy Williamson with a growth, and he looks some prospect, by the way. Unbelievable. Midfield player. That's what Gerrard was. Midfield player. You've got him in a wing.
He knows one.
And Gerrard's done amazing. It's totally unbelievable. But see when he put the team out tonight, and I'm looking at the team and I went, I think he's going to 2 holding players. I think he's going to have Kamara and Wee Davis holding. No, he didn't. He didn't do that. Kamara was playing right, left. He wasn't a holder. He just went and attacked. He attacked. That just showed you what he knew about the game. Just go for it. That's what we've all wanted to see. We've all wanted to see Rangers team going for the opposites. Go at them. Have a go. And take them on. And that's what we've done tonight.
Right, cheers, Billy boy. Right, we'll get that many callers. We'll speak to you soon, mate.
No bother, bye.
Cheers, mate. Brilliant to hear from you. Robert, before we go to the tune, and then Gordon.
I just speaking about the what I mentioned, the built a squad, the character and the togetherness of the club, the kind of the starting 11 and even beyond that. I don't know if you've seen the interview with Borna Barisic after the game.
I've got that statement here, mate. Borna Barisic, it's not about my personal thing. Cedric asked me for the penalty and I gave it him. Goals are important for strikers. He's been training really well. I gave him the penalty because he deserved it.
Class.
That's just class from Barisic, but it just shows as well. Hitting's waiting in the wings, taking his chance, and the confidence to say he's the ball. Millions of players would be like, I'm the hot one, you've hit the last 4, on you go. And the confidence stepping up may not be sweetest penalties hit, but you know what, put it back in the game is over, and it boosts his confidence up.
Here, mate. Listen, Robert, I know it's your first time calling in. It's always great to hear from you. Now you've done it once, will you do it again?
I will do. Thanks for taking my call.
No problem, mate. It was great to hear from you, mate. Cheers.
Right, cheers. I'll take.
Good man, Robert.
Before we go to the tune, Gordon, last word for you, mate.
Okay, mate. Listen, as far as Steven Gerrard's concerned, he's came to your club and realised how big it is. He's fallen in love with Rangers. And he'll go away with a heavy heart because he loves that club now.
Here, mate. Here. Right, get yourself to mute. We're going to have a tune.
From Argyle, so young, to Glasgow City, they come, seeking fortune and a new way of life. How could they know ambitions would grow? Such a beautiful story, and here's how it goes. To start a football team, they had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, we're still going strong. So hoist up your Rangers flags. Your heart and voice. Celebrate the greatest club in the world. Let our history show what we already know. We are the Rangers, the greatest of all. For life's not our dream to start a football team. They had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers are born. 64 titles, we're still going strong. To start a football team, they had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, but still going strong. 54 titles, we're still going strong.
Brilliant. Sorry, Gordon, I had to drop you there. You started talking during the Surely that's sacrilege. Anyway, we'll be joined by Rudy Bear. Evening, Rudy.
Evening, Ox. How we doing? Evening, Mark. Evening, who else is on South Side?
How we doing, Mark? A long time no here.
Cheers, Mark. Thanks. What a game of football that was, Oxy. Oh yeah, I was up. I was off the couch. I was on the couch. I was off the couch. I was on the couch. Last 10 minutes, the messages saying, "Got to use sit good for God's sake." Brilliant.
To be fair, someone else says you've done any bouncing on the couch, innit?
You might be right. You might be right there, Ox. But what a fantastic game of football. Some of the attacking play I thought was outstanding. And you can talk about the defence. I mean, the defending was a wee bit shoddy, aye. But look, see when you go and score 5 brilliant goals, you know, I mean, some of the attacking play we want. Alfredo Morelos, how do you replace him, Ox, if he decides to go in the summer? You don't, do you? I said that to my mate after the game. You cannot replace him. It's just everything he brings to the game when he's totally on form. Ox, outstanding performance.
Yeah. I think we've been joined by Mark, our first time caller. Evening, Mark. Oh, not but Stephen. How we doing, Stephen?
Oh, hello, it's Stephen from Latco. How you doing, boys?
All right, mate. How you doing, Stephen? All right?
Well, it's the first I've called, but I tell you what, I'm still peeling my wee cousin off the ceiling of the night. What's that game of football?
Here, mate. Here. Did you see that coming?
I never saw the 5-2 come, but I tell you what an actual advert for Scottish football. I mean, come on the hell, guys. What a game of football. Incredible tonight. Rangers were absolutely outstanding. For the word go, I mean, even wee Morelos, burying it. Come on, class act. He's trying his best, let's be honest, boys. What do the panel think of the game?
Southside.
Absolutely.
Yeah, mate, I thought it was a great performance, buddy. Like you said, wee Alfie buzzing about brings a total difference to the team. So, the juggernaut rolls on, mate, basically, and domestically and in Europe for us,
Yeah, absolutely. I have to balance with you. I like call it. It's bouncing tonight. It's absolutely out bouncing. The street is absolutely having an absolute party. I'm absolutely proud of the boys, how well they've done tonight. I would bring a tear a glass eye.
Rudy Bear.
I could.
Come on, guys. What a result. When the last leg, I reckon we're going to do really well. Come on, guys. You can't be sitting in your chairs. That game was outstanding, people. Come on.
I couldn't disagree with you, mate, to be honest. I wasn't in my chair the whole night, I don't think.
The missus was out in the huff because I was shooting ball at the telly. No, but I have to say, I know we've had a few hard times over the last few years, but tonight, it just brought the real Glasgow Rangers to light. And I tell you what, I could not be a prouder man. I'm sitting here at the house tonight. My family was sitting here. It was a terrific night. And I tell you what, I cannot wait to the next round. And I hope we get a good English team and Keenan a good doing or not to show that
you
we
hope
are
so?
good.
The more at 12 o'clock we draw. More at 12 o'clock.
I know, I can't wait to draw, but I hope we get a good English team and I hope we actually go and cancel them as well to prove that we're no a Diddy League. That we are a very competitive game on here in Scotland, and I hope we do extremely well this year. I really do, boys.
Well said, Stephen. We'll be joined by George E.K. George?
Evening, gentlemen. What a night out was that?
Right, George.
Man. Morelos was outstanding, man.
Oxygen, I wonder when like his couch is in.
Yeah, I seen man, I was like half time going like that. I forgot about something, I can't remember what it was. And then I went like that. Somebody was mentioning dinner, and I went, oh no, I left that shit, there's fire in there. I ran in, man, I thought, what will be taught? I ran in, I hadn't put the cooker on.
Only you, George, only you, man.
You look for some
new stuff. The house has been burned in. We were outstanding, by the way, you know what I mean? I thought McGregor could have come out and tricked for the second goal. Maybe got it himself. You know what I mean? Rather than goals and Clyde into him.
Communication, George.
Anyway, that's just a load of crap anyway, you know what I mean? Let's don't bother about that way. Humped him.
More money into the club.
That's
coefficient points for the team.
Buzo.
That's more money into the club.
Exactly. Mate.
Hello, it's Stephen from Black Call again. I've just got one question to ask the panel. Who do you fancy in the next round?
Well, I don't know who's through, mate. I don't know who's through.
Man United's through so far.
Right.
Tottenham's through.
Who do you fancy?
I wouldn't mind taking Southside to Spurs' grunt to watch.
Tottenham.
I mean, I wouldn't mind Ajax. I'd like an Ajax trip. I've been to the Amsterdam Arena. What a stadium.
If I can just put one more thing out there, how do you fancy if Leicester gets to then we actually gub Leicester? How good would that be to beat Brendan Rodgers?
Oh, I could handle that, mate. I could handle that.
How sweet would that be?
I could handle that. George, you could handle that, George. Yeah? George?
What was that? I'd rather have Arsenal.
All right, okay. All right.
They beat Benfica 3-2 tonight.
Who would I like? I'd like an English team, obviously. Spurs would be a good one. Probably, if I was taking an English team out all together, I would probably go for Mouldy, since they're through.
Oh, yes.
Went there before.
Yeah.
I went there before. Like me place. So, I would like to go something like that. Take Mouldy and then see who the rest all get. And then take our chances for there. But just quickly, Man United's through, Spurs are through, Arsenal's through, Ajax are through, Molde's through, Granada's through, and Villarreal's through the now. So there's a wee group of teams with the rest to follow later on.
Aye, okay, mate. All right. We've been joined by Baloo. Evening, Baloo.
How you doing, boys?
All right, mate.
Oh, over the moon, boys. What a result. What a game.
Here, mate.
One difference, so I'm a professional, mate. I put the oven on. I was no bother. I got it all sorted out. Dinner was brilliant, by the way. What a game. What a game.
In fact, Doctor, I'm going to go and check the oven because it's on. I better go and check it now.
I better let him check his oven. That's so many the live on Rangers Radio.
George has been on can't cook, won't cook, hasn't he?
He'll not get into his kitchen for his new couch.
Oh, what a man.
Dear, oh dear.
Hope he's got a smoke alarm.
He's got to keep his remote somewhere.
He's probably got to barley at that Southside.
And you come, Stevie. Stevie, your first time call. Get more callers coming in. Last word for you, Stevie.
Yeah, I'd just like to ask one last thing. I heard some of the Rangers have cancelled the actual flyover, the Red Arrows. Has that been cancelled? Is it still on? Do you know?
The Red Arrows, nothing to do with Rangers, mate. The Red Arrows are said that they don't get hired for functions, you know. So the money's went to Erskine and Emily Smiley.
Okay.
Charity,
well, it's definitely going to a good charity.
You couldn't get two better charities. What a lassie she was.
Absolutely. Well, I'd just like to say good night to all you Rangers followers, but I tell you what, we are the people.
You're right, Stevie boy. Good night. Great first time call.
Good night to you.
Superb.
Cheerio. It's the first time.
Good night.
Cheers, mate. Good to have loads of first time callers, Port Bear.
That's what the show's all about, mate. We continue to grow, and we will go from strength to strength. Robert, Stevie, two of our new callers tonight. Just keep them coming, keep calling in, troops.
All right. If anybody's out the East Coast Brideway, could they take a bag of chips or something up to a house? He's hanging out the window. Oh, George. Baloo, we've had a lot of hot sore nights in this journey. This season's just get better and better and better, doesn't it?
Listen, see, I've listened to, in fact, you called me off the bench twice last week. I mean, there was a night I phoned in, and I phoned in a few times, didn't get in. But a couple of times last week, and one night you said, I think we'll get Blue on the phone. And I was sitting up, I turned around and looked at my phone. I was like, you didn't ring. But I'd phoned in, but unfortunately, boys didn't put me through, but it was just one of these things. So, no,
they two receptionists, mate. You've got to bug them now if you want.
Yeah, listen. At last, I didn't even know that I had to actually wait to speak to somebody. So the night I didn't even. I phoned about 5 times.
We're all posh now, mate. We're all posh.
Different class. But talking about different class, what a performance tonight, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, really. I mean, it's like, Alfie. I mean, how you can't separate them out. Everybody was brilliant. But overall, I mean, how can you win a European tie 9-5? It's just absolutely fantastic. I mean, you were asking earlier on about who we would like to see tomorrow in the draw. I honestly don't fear anybody at this point in time. I know what guys are saying, they have their doubts because it may be the defensive frailties and things like that. But Balogun, when the night was injured, and we lost our normal right back, these things are going to happen. But we actually defended really relatively well overall, considering. But the fact is, we get 9 goals, they get 5. And that's what we seem to do, is we seem to just score goals. We'll concede, but we're going to score more than you. And that's what we've been doing right through this season and right through Europe. I mean, you said it yourself earlier on, how we've performed in Europe since Gerrard came. And funnily enough, where I worked, there was a few of the beggars about 2 seasons ago were in my face about, Gerrard not been up to, he was a junior, sort of coach and all that sort of stuff. And I said, look, you've got your own worries to think about. And they were going on about how many trophies they won. I said, look, you're not good enough. You're just not good enough. I said, how can you say that? I said, because every time in Europe you get pumped. Every time, and that's the measure of a team. No, it is. It's the truth, though.
Yeah,
it's easy to win a domestic league when there's no competition and nobody wants to play Celtic apart from Rangers.
Yeah.
But see, when it comes to Europe, they were getting absolutely hammered every time. Now, different quality. This is a different quality squad and team and mentality. And that boy, see that boy right back tonight, he must be one of the luckiest young men about at any time at all. Because he was, I mean, see if Taff hadn't injured himself last week, he wasn't getting into the squad tonight. But because he got injured last week, and then Balogun gets injured tonight and he gets in, and then he scores a goal. What a lucky young man.
16 seconds it took him. Alex joined us. Evening, Alex. Alex.
Hello?
Hello, how you doing, mate?
Aye, I'm John from Buttonby.
Aye, Alex, what's on your mind, mate?
I'd just like to say congratulate the Rangers on their victory tonight. They worked hard. And Morelos, Kent, the full team was brilliant. I really thought they were absolutely brilliant.
Rudy Bear.
I couldn't disagree with that, Ox. I thought Ryan Kent was exceptional tonight, to be honest with his movement, and, he's closing down everything. I thought the whole team for the first 25 minutes, the way they were closing them down was just absolutely brilliant. But Alfredo Morelos, if I really had to pick a man of the match, Ox, it's got to be Alfie tonight. You just get involved in every goal. Got the penalty, scored the goal himself. It really well, It was just a great all-round team performance. And like I was saying a wee while back, you could talk about the shonky defending, and it was a wee bit shonky. I mean, let's be honest with you, don't expect Conor Golson and Alan McGregor to be running into each other the kind of they've had up to now, But all-round, Collar's right, all-round, Alex right. It was a great team performance tonight, Ox. It really was. Really proud of them tonight.
You mentioned Morelos there, Alex. You enjoy his performance, mate?
Yes, it was brilliant. By the way, it's not Alex, it's John Balfour.
Oh, is it? They've sent me the wrong name. Sorry, John. Carry on, mate.
Sorry, I'm in the same area as Alec Kelly. I'm in the same area.
All right, okay.
No, it really was. It was an excellent. It was a bit shaky after the equalising. I'm saying, no, it's not going to be another one, but really pleased. And I don't care who we get in the next round because I think we can take care of anyone now.
Well said, John. Nice to hear from you, mate.
Right, buddy, that's my second time calling.
You're welcome anytime, mate, yeah?
Right, pal. Right, Ox. Right. Good night, everyone.
Take it easy, bro.
Cheers, mate.
Bye.
Cheers, John.
Aye, he's right, but there was a wee, bizarrely, in a game you won 5-2. But there was a wee every 10 minutes when they got the goal.
There was, but it's probably. I mean, they've been warned well and truly before they went out with Gerrard. What to expect, and it's probably going to shake your confidence a wee bit. But they handled it. The pressure we were getting was down the left for Balogun, on the right hand side for Balogun was. And that's, I think they obviously saw that as a weakness. The big man clearly is a good, competent player, and he's got good speed. But the boy was turning him inside out because he's a lot more. He just wasn't as mobile as Tab is. and sort of twisting and turning. And that he did him all right on that. It might have been the fact that he was carrying an injury. But I said to my brother at half time, I said, you need to get that boy on. You need to get Balogun off. A, because the guy was terrorising him, but B, because he'd been booked as well. And I could just see something bad happening. You don't want to be doing 10 men against them, especially a situation like that. All they needed was another couple of goals, and where's 10 men, they might have damaged us. So it was a good shout by Gerrard, and it was quite brave to put the boys in the squad as well, considering what's just happened recently.
Can I just give a shout out to one of our regular listeners, Davey in Spain? He's been on a couple of times. All the best for everybody here at Rangers Radio, Davey. Speak to you soon, and you look after yourself, brother. Southside. We were asked earlier on about how good this team was compared to the 2008 team. It's very difficult to judge. This team's definitely more offensive.
Aye, it probably need a wee think on it. I mean, it's good to react to a sort of question when you're asked at the time, but probably need a wee bit more time to think about it. But I mean, we're giving them the plaudits tonight because, in all honesty, we've won home and away in Europe. We've scored 9 goals over 2 legs. So, I mean, usually when we've done that in the past, it was teams from Malta or Finland or something like that we could maybe do that against, but it's a team from Belgium. I just think he's got us playing good football. In Scotland, you can give the ball away, we get it back.
This is the Vodafone voicemail service for 077.
Although we've only conceded the two goals in the league, but there's teams had chances. But in Europe's a totally different level, mate. So it's looking good for us now, mate, and it's something that we're used to playing in, and we're doing well in it. So hopefully we just keep on.
Jim Paisley's joined this evening, Jim.
I knew you phoned me. I've been drinking for 4 o'clock this afternoon, Oxford. Wait for us to get a kick.
That's not my fault.
Team Andy, you want to see the taxi beside my house, innit? Why he's phoning? What's going on here, you maniac?
Have you
what a fantastic
result, brother?
What entertainment? Oh, yeah, entertainment is
real game of football, Jim. A real game of football.
Listen, we've had 2 legs against them. I think it's fantastic. Two fantastic legs. I think these are going to be carried on forever. Every time BT or these are fantastic legs for us, aren't they? We've got 14 or 15 goals in 2 legs, 14 goals in 2 legs. Fantastic football.
The guy's right, Baloo. That's what football's all about, isn't it? No, this stuff
absolutely, that's what the name of the game is, isn't it? You score a goal, we'll get 2, and that's the way we've been playing. I love somebody said just a minute ago about the 2008 team, and don't get me wrong, love Walter Smith, love everything he did for Rangers, adore him when you see him, they pass him, but this is a different type of football. Could you imagine us getting to the final of the UEFA Cup and maybe thinking we'll hold out and see if we can get to penalties or something? It's not going to happen. We're going to play to win every single game. And I'm not suggesting Walter did that, but he certainly wasn't quite as offensive as Gerrard's team is. I love the way he plays football. I love his attitude.
Yeah. We've had 4 penalties against him, haven't we?
Aye, that's right. Barisic took 3 penalties against 3 different goalkeepers. There's a stat for you.
Yeah, do you think he balled at the last one?
No, he gave it to Itten because he asked for the ball. Itten asked him, mate.
Right. Really? Aye. I was wondering about that, Oaks. I was wondering about that. I was wondering about it. I just wondered into a back step or no, and just said, somebody else for a change. I was just wondering about that.
No bother, mate. Listen, you go and get into that grey goose, mate, and we'll speak to you soon, yeah?
I'm a band, aye.
Aye, but there's loads more coming in. Loads more coming in.
Oh, Jim.
You've had a couple, Jim. You've had a couple.
On the bench.
Jim Bob, speak to you soon, bro, right?
All the best.
Be safe.
Cheers, mate. What a man. What a man. Southside. Southside.
Stay in a bridge.
Always doing a bridge. We're Port Bear.
Aye, Oxford, you touched on the 2008 team there, but I'm thinking, what Gerrard installed into Rangers at the moment. I'm going to discuss a wee bit about Mourinho as well. I think we've got this new sort of found football that Jurgen Klopp, Guardiola, guys like them have developed, this tiki-taka stuff. We're playing very similar to these level of teams, mate. I think that's the future of football. The 2008 team probably weren't able to do that kind of football. So, that's Naislant, Motor Smith, or that team Oxford. I just think the brand of football that Michael Beale, Steven Gerrard and his staff are installing at Rangers is football for now and the future. That's the way the game's played now. You find games are very open, they're very attacking, it's very quick. They all play with that high press. So I think it's just onwards and upwards, mate. The team's absolutely fantastic. It's tailor-made for Europe, in my opinion.
I think
it's expansive, you get to play.
Do you know something, Port? I think some of the football we've played in the last two matches especially has been breathtaking to watch at times, for spells in the game. I don't mean for the whole 90 minutes, but for spells in the game in the last two matches against Antwerp. I think some of the football has just been breathtaking to watch. The passing, the movement, the pace of attack, just everything about it has just been brilliant to see. And his style of football, he's really, really developed a style of football now that's so enjoyable to watch. When we hit top form like that, it's just so good to watch.
We've got an identity now, Rudy. We've got an identity.
Anyway, we'll be joined by Gary. Evening, Gary.
Good evening, guys. How's things?
All right, mate. Good to hear from you, mate. Give us your thoughts.
Mate, what good performance tonight for the Bears, wasn't it?
Excellent.
See the performance that the Rangers had tonight, the win we had tonight. Did we automatically qualify for the Champions League next year? This season or next season?
Next year, if it keeps going, the Scottish teams will go. No, at the moment, mate. I think there's a lot of things would have to go our way. Southside.
Yeah, I don't think we qualify automatic, mate. But what we're talking about the football, under Walter at times we were defensive. There's no doubt about it. We shut shop at times and hitting the break and stuff. But with Stevie G, there's not really any time where we think we've ever really parked a bus. At any time in a European game, we've been under a wee bit of pressure, but we've stuck to our system and the plan. So no. I think going forward, it's been a breath of fresh air under Stevie G in Europe.
Who's shone for you, Gary? Who's shone for you tonight, mate?
Well, do you know what? I was discussing with one of my mates the other night, and he says he's checked it. Well, in front of Ukraine, was it you said?
But fortunately, we have now just qualified for, if we win the league this year as champions in Scotland, we will go straight through. And the runners-up, which looking to be Celtic, they will go into the third qualifying round. We were in 18th, I think it was, in the coefficient, UEFA, and we had just overtaken Ukraine because of their last team are knocked out of a UEFA competition.
I tell you what, the callers on here are getting too clever for us, Rudy.
Yeah, it sounds like it, Oxy. I'll have to double check.
What's your mate's name?
It's Stephen.
Cheers, Stephen. Cheers, mate.
I've said to him he's talking one word of bollocks, but he always seems to be right.
I know my shit.
But do you know what? He's one of us, and I believe him. Do you know what I mean? So, where are we qualified? Where are we in the Champions League or no?
We are 38 million.
What he says, I think, whatever it was the truth or no, if we win this competition anyway, we did a treble, we'll win the Champions League anyway, so it wouldn't make a difference.
No, I don't think that comes in. Listen, you know what used to go.
Rangers will get here, they get 30 million.
Get a room. Jim 115, join us. How are we doing, Jim?
Yeah,
Too much hilarity on this show, by the way.
You preferred it when we got a bad results, Jim, didn't you?
Oh, fantastic, man. How is it to be a Rangers fan now, man? Unbelievable, man. Tell you something, we lost 2 bad goals in it. Alan McGregor's not made a save again.
Oh, there was a wee turning point, mate. See when Balogun gets stung and Golson came out and blocked him and through his legs. And he went back to the post. That was a big minute in the game, mate, because if they'd got that goal then just before half-time, their tails would have been up, mate.
Nah, but he was offside, so that's why they all stopped.
You mean for the goal we scored?
No, the one you're talking about.
No.
Yeah, that guy was offside.
I don't think he was, Jim, was he?
He was. No. He put it. That's how he was late putting the flag. Golston stopped. Are you talking about the one just before half time where McGregor went down and the ball went by the post? It was offside.
Never seen that, Jim.
That's why Connor Golston stopped.
You're a referee. You don't know the rules. You know what I mean?
But they need I'll tell you something. See this rule. This rule is an absolute disgrace with a flag, by the way.
Aye.
Old school refereeing and linesman. See if you're off, you're off. Unbelievable. And I actually heard somebody say there a week ago on thing, it was Talk Sport. They're not going to do nothing until somebody gets a bad injury because of this stupid rule. They're not going to do nothing until somebody gets hurted. Here they go tonight. Sorry, on you go, big man. Sorry, mate.
No, it's all right, Jim. Here's a stat just been said to me. I don't think we have qualified for the Champions League, but I've got somebody looking at it. Rangers 9, Antwerp 5 is the highest scoring 2-leg knockout game in the Europa League history. There's a stat for you.
Unbelievable, man.
We're getting entertained. We were moaning about we're no scored goals. That's us scored 13 in the last 3 games, Rudy Bear.
Aye, we were saying that last Wednesday before the first leg as well, Ox, weren't we? It'd be nice to get back to European football again and see 2 teams who want to go out and play football instead of 10-man, defending a box and all that nonsense that you see here. And we were certainly entertained last week. I thought that was a great game last week. As heart-pounding as it was to watch. And then we got the same served up to us tonight again. Luckily, 5-2 to the famous. But aye, certainly entertainment. And most, I would think most, neutral football fans, if there's such a thing, would look at that game and the game last week and think to themselves, what 2 fantastic games that is just for a neutral to sit and watch. I certainly enjoyed them anyway, Ox. It certainly was entertainment.
There's a story doing the round tonight that when Patterson got back into the dressing room, he said to them, all right, back to mine to celebrate.
Ox, were you happy with your boy tonight?
The number 7.
Aye, your pal. I wasn't in it.
He had a great turn and made a pass. I'll let Port Bear take that one. He texted me at half time and he got a reply. Port Bear.
Aye, Jim, first half hour I thought the front 3 were outstanding, mate. And like Oxford just says, they turn on the halfway line when he puts the boy through in goal to get their goal. It was some pass. And these are some of the moments that are magic that I only think Hadji and your team is capable of. Passes like that, turns like that. Cool. He's got undoubted quality for me, but it's just not consistent enough. And I'm a big admirer of him.
By the way, I admire him. I know he's a young boy, but I thought his decision making tonight put us under pressure, and we could have been through on him a lot of times. I thought his decision making tonight was great. But go ahead, man. What a reverse ball we put in for Morelos, man. Unbelievable.
That's what I'm talking about, Jim.
Gerrard gave him a bit of stick in the first half when the edge of the box. They never made the right decision,
Yep.
That's what he says. I think he did put us under a lot of pressure in his decision making.
I think a lot of the players run about him don't see what he's trying to do. I mean, see that? I think Oxford, you were talking about the one at the edge of the box. It was when we were shooting into the cell again, and I think it was Kent was in front of him, and he took the ball. And he turned around, and I think he was either going to try and shoot or play it to Kent, but Kent had come right up beside him, and he couldn't do it, so he then tried to pass it through. I can't remember who it was on the left-hand side, and it didn't work. But remember, he actually he was instrumental in getting the first goal because he made that.
Shut the boy down. He shut the boy down.
I think he made him.
Made him face his own line. He's got to move on a level. He's got the brain. There's no doubt in that.
Aye.
He just lacks
touches.
Half a yard in pace. I think Gary B's joined us. Evening, Gary.
I have, boys. How we doing? All right?
Yes, we're fine, mate. We're fine.
How you doing, Gary? All right, Paul?
Gary.
Good
stuff.
Gary. Good stuff. Yeah, good boys. Yeah, over the moon. I thought that was a great game of football, like everybody said. I didn't really feel. I'll be honest with you. I felt more nervous in the first leg, but I didn't feel as nervous watching that second leg. Like when they scored the equaliser, nothing changed at half time. They still needed 2, and I still thought we would get another, and they would need 3. And then we went on and got the penalty as well. So over the moon, just really, really, really pleased. My mate, he's a lad I know from the forces. He's an Ipswich fan. He was giving me a bit of stick last week. Kind of just the normal nonsense, It's Rangers. They wouldn't last in here and all that. Well, he texts me the night and he says, really well done to Rangers scoring 9 goals in Europe over 2 legs. Is a phenomenal achievement.
It's a record, mate. It's a record.
Aye, he says you'll give anybody a game. So we're starting to get, we spoke about last night, Ox, and we said that the last few nights, we're starting to get recognised now. People are starting to sit up and take notice, and this is the reason why. If it was going to be a team that I'd like to avoid, it would be Man United. I think they're a dangerous outfit. But I would like an English team.
We'll see tomorrow. Obviously, we'll heat the buzz up and we'll get it all sorted.
Before we move on, I just want to say I've been saying this from the start. I think the boys that messed up, and they deserve to.
We'll part of that, Gary. We'll talk about it. I'm sure we'll talk about that another time.
Hello. I'm glad what Patterson done. Brilliant.
We've been joined by first-time caller. Evening, James. How we doing, mate? You with us, James? Hello, James. Yeah. How you doing, mate?
I'm alright.
The floor's yours, James. Talk.
I want to talk about Alfredo Morelos.
When you go, mate, carry on then.
I think that last year, when they said that Rangers' season collapsed after Dubai, I think it was wrong. I think that the Rangers changed Alfredo Morelos' position.
All right, mate. All right. Thanks for that, James. Southside, Morelos was suspended for a few games back. Maybe he's more important than we realise.
Aye, mate. He's a talisman, and he's a striker that leads the line. He's powerful. He's strong. And it's a big difference he makes to the team when he's in it, mate. We've all seen it. He's maybe not scored so many domestic goals, but his contribution, if we fall deeper and taking the strikers and the way we played the systems, contributed to more goals for the team. But he's back in the European scoring charts again, and he's absolutely terrorised them over 2 legs, mate. So that's what you can say about Alfie at the moment.
Well, I thought he was absolutely excellent tonight. I think he's been excellent for a long time in this season for Rangers. I think he's an absolute talisman. But I think Rangers, I think the moving Morelos sort of deeper a wee bit, I think what I'm trying to say is a lot of folk have looked at Morelos and saying he's not scoring enough goals, but I think his overall contribution, what?
Oh, poor James, he's away.
I make him say what you said in that phone.
It could have been worse.
Oh, that's anyway,
a sin. Talking about star terms, we've been joined by Alec. Fit with a shot.
Good evening, Oxford. Good evening, Oxford.
How we doing, mate? You enjoy that? That's
How we
a good
doing?
game of football, wasn't it?
Oh, fantastic, yeah. Last 2 weeks. Oh, it was bad enough last week. There you go. A good repeat. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic result. Fair play. I'm just watching Leicester City. They're getting beat 2-0, isn't it?
All right, is that them out?
I was just going to say that there. I'm gutted. I wanted 10 fingers back at Ibrox.
Still going. No, it's still going a wee bit, but they're getting beat 2-0. No, but tonight, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Alfie Morelos, he's irreplaceable, isn't he? Could never have replaced that guy. Fantastic. What a leader. What a leader.
The boys' games went to levels that I didn't think you could get to when I first seen them. Southside.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I remember when he first came in, he was really raw, wasn't he? He snatches at things and that, but you see the development in him now. He leads the line. He's streetwise. He knows when to go tight to the defender and pick up the foul. He knows when to roll the defender. He's just powerful in the box. So there's a big improvement in Alfie. And his links to play quite well. The night he gave away a couple of passes as well, a couple of slack ones, and they were up the park. But overall, it's been a total difference in him. We have certainly at the club, and the manager have certainly made him a far better player now than what he was when he first came in. Don't think he's a natural goal scorer and through. Sometimes I think he snatches, but opportunist stuff. But everything else is in his locker, and it mate, he scores goals and he just leads the line.
Gary, excellent player, Morelos, and improving as well.
Yeah, definitely. In his first few seasons with Rangers, he absolutely racked up the goals, didn't he? But I don't think he's the most natural finisher. But everything else about his forward play, his hold-up play, mate, with his big Colombian ass, and how he, backs up to defenders and draws fouls and brings players in and links up play, and brilliant. I think tonight, it went for us. We got the result, but special mention to his sportsmanship as well. That takes a lot. It's something inside a player. Do you know what I mean? That you see that opportunity, you smell the blood, especially a South American player who are notorious for, ruthlessness. But he seen it wasn't right. It wasn't right to do that, and I hope he gets special mention for that. I remember Canio done it in the Premier League game. Well, there's a few players that have done it, mate. In the heat of the moment, a lot of players would have done it.
Sitting on the fence. Anyway, we've also been joined by Jim. Evening, Jim.
Good evening, Ox. How are you?
All right, good to hear from you, mate. All the way from down south, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, not too bad. And just sitting here watching the game tonight.
You've got your telly or something on, Jim, in the background?
That's not mine.
All right, okay. So carry on, Jim.
Yes. Look, talking about the game, I suppose most people are a little bit disappointed about losing a couple of poor goals. But I think the style of play which Steven Gerrard has introduced now is that we're very open playing very open attacking football, and we are going to occasionally lose goals because of the style of play.
It's hard to argue with that, Port Bear.
How you doing, Jim? I understand that, definitely, Jim, but I was just worried for a point where we've hardly conceded a goal this season, and all of a sudden, over 2 games, we're conceding, I don't know, they're soft goals for me as well, and that was the only thing that's worrying. But I understand what Southside said as well. He did mention, in Europe, you make mistakes, you do get punished, and I know that. But it was just very unlike us to lose so many goals in the manner we did. But as I know, as we got through the levels, last 82, last 16, last 8, etc., I know you're going to get punished every time you make a mistake at that level. I get that. You might not get as punished, domestically. But the style of football, as I said, it's a modern game. That's the way we play the game. It's fast, pacey, open.
Yeah. Yes, you're quite correct. The difference being the only other football we play is in the Scottish Premiership, where just about every team plays a low block every time they play us.
You're right, mate. That's bang on. This is why we enjoy it. I think Oxford, so I can speak for all you guys on in the call. I think that's why we enjoy our European nights so much, because we can get to see a game of football. We see teams, two teams having a go, two teams aren't afraid to have a go at each other, and it turns out that's the sort of games you get. The last two games we've played, you look at Benfica, Porto, all the Standard Liège, another great night, another Belgian side. Been absolutely fantastic in Europe, so we have, and that's where I feel we're tailor-made. Our football's tailor-made for European football.
Yeah. Teams play the low block domestically, Jim, because if they opened up against Rangers, well, you saw tonight and last week what Rangers would do to them. Hamilton tried to open up a wee bit against us. We battered them 8-0 at Ibrox. That's why they play the low block. They don't have the talent we've got on their side, so it's to them. It's not up to them not to play the low block. Don't get me wrong, I don't like watching it. It bores me to tears. But it's not up to them not to play the low block. It's us. It's up to us as a club. It's up to the Rangers players to find a way through that low block, mate.
All right. We enjoyed talking about guys with a low block. We've enjoyed with Denver. Even in Denver.
Oh, if we only had the Rangers over here. What the hell's going on? Last week, I get service. I find out we're doing 2-1. I'm all worried about it. Then I put it on and I find we won 4-3. The day I see we're winning 2-1, and then I put it on and we've won 5-2. What the hell's going on there? It's that mad.
I'll tell you what we've got, mate. We've got Stevie G in this exceptional team, brother.
Oh, I've been telling you for several weeks, Ox, that this is the best, my favourite Rangers team of all time. There's no big stars in it. They all listen to what Stevie G says, and they're coming through every week. I mean, that's 13 goals in 3 games we've scored. 4 goals on Saturday or Sunday, whenever it was, and then the 9 against that mob. Unbelievable, man. Anyway, I just thought I'd give you a wee shout out and just show you how happy I am. I've not seen the game yet, but I've got a crate of beer to drink it later on the night when I get in. But it's not the same. It's not the same when you watch it live. You think, oh God, you're at the edge of the seat. But when you know you're going to win, it's not the same. But anyway, onwards and upwards, Rangers. And all the best to the boys in Rangers Radio.
Oh, man.
Good yourself, Denver.
I'm going to jump out now in case anybody else wants to try and get in. All right, it's Blue here.
Cheers.
All the best, boys. Really enjoyed it. Keep it good. And you keep up the good work, lads. Cheers.
Take care, mate.
Southside, you come on here.
Bye.
Guys phoning in from Oslo. We've had 2 guys from New Zealand. Denver Bear. Oh, hang up, Malloy. Hang up, Malloy, sorry. Southside, obviously, Stevie for Oslo, Denver Bear, Gordon for New Zealand. Unbelievable, isn't it?
Aye, mate, it's brilliant to get the guys phoning in and that, and it just shows you how popular the show's getting, and a lot of people out there are hearing the show. But it's great to hear them on, and everybody's in fine fit. Oh, and that's the thing that keeps us all together. The Rangers, the juggernaut's still running, mate, isn't it? But it's great to hear even new callers, mate, coming on over the last few days and weeks, So it's good to hear a lot of people listening to the show, buddy, innit?
Aye, obviously, the results help us, Gary Beer and Rudy.
Oh, results are everything in the game. It's still fascinating. I had, one of these Muppets say to me, he's a bang average. You've got to, obviously it's coming for them, but, we've lost 1 game all season, unbeaten in the league. We're now in the last 16 of Europe, unbeaten in Europe, scoring goals for fun, not conceding many, apart from Europe, which I think is acceptable in the amount when you see the amount we're scoring.
Do you want a stat,
we are a serious footballing team now.
Do you want a stat?
Oh, I love stats. Go for it.
They've won 1 knockout tie since 2003. in Europe.
Aye.
There you go. There's a stat for you.
Is that right, Ox? One.
I don't know. Somebody sent me it, but I'm shouting it anyway. Anyway, we've been joined by David.
I knew that they had one.
How are we doing, Davey?
Evening, lads.
You enjoyed that, mate?
You know, I didn't think it'd get any better than the other match I had against them, but wow. The Rangers team showed themselves to be real contenders for that cup. And if there was any doubt beforehand that we were the contenders for that European Cup, then I hope that any doubters have been swayed after the night's performance. Morelos was on absolute fire again. He seems to just be hitting his stride now. Hopefully before the end of the season he'll get one against the Green Boys the other side of Glasgow.
Hope so, mate. Rudy Bear, then Port Bear.
It's just a fantastic night of football, Ox, and we were talking about entertainment earlier, and that's exactly what it was. You know, I don't mind us losing a goal or two, you know, even if the defending is a wee bit shonky. You don't want to see us losing goals, you know. Preferably a clean sheet's great, you know, not just for the defence, but for the whole team. But when you can, you know, up at the other end of the park, if you're banging in 5 goals, you know, you can't really complain. It's still, it's like the old Brazilian thing. If you score 1 goal, we'll score 2. And that's all football's about, Ox, at the end of the day. It's not complicated. All you have to do is score 1 more goal than your opponent to win the game. That's all you have to do. But if you can play the kind of football that we played tonight, and because I said earlier on, some of that football tonight was exceptional to watch in parts of that game. And if you can play that kind of football, you can score 5 goals in a European tie, I'll take that all day long, Ox. That was fantastic to watch.
Port Bear.
I concur with everything Rudy says here, mate, you know, and it's great what they could get the film Gladiator. You know, are you not entertained? I tell you, I'm certainly entertained, mate. The way we are growing under Steven Gerrard, captain of the ship, and can I give special mention a lot of guys like Michael Beale and his backroom staff as well? Because they're the guys that put this all together. You know, Steven Gerrard's a captain and manager of the team, but these guys that work in the background are absolutely phenomenal. These are guys that work in our style, our formations, you know, everything. So I want to give them special mention as well, mate, because it's without all this, without them, Gerrard and his team, we wouldn't be where we are today. It's
a proper team effort, Port, isn't it, for the background staff right through? And you heard Barisic say that tonight, you know, and you know, he says it's not just about individual players. He says it's about the team. It's a team effort, and he's right. It is.
You hear? We've been joined by Blue Star. Evening, Blue Star.
Evening, Ox. How good was that? They talk about the film, The House of Eyes. I'll tell you, every eye in Britain, every eye in Europe would have been watching that forward line tonight. When we were under Advocate, Ox, for me, without any shadow of a doubt, at that period in time, we had the best midfield in Britain. The best midfield in Britain. I'm telling you right now, under Gerrard, that forward line tonight would have been a match for any defence, any defence at all in Europe. Any defence. And as for wee Hadji, Ox, McCoy's the name were talking about it after the game. Sees his turn with the ball on one move to pass the ball out to Alfie for Kent's goal. That was utterly world class. There's no many players have even got that in their repertoire. It was a world. Watch it again, mate. I'm telling you, it was breathtaking. He actually turned the guy and let the ball follow through, and then passed it out wide to Alfie. It was a tremendous performance. Absolutely tremendous.
Well, last time I seen a shimmy like that was Fox trying to avoid buying around. You know, I mean, look, we can debate Hadji. I don't think this is the time and the place. He was part of a great team performance, done a couple of good things. Some people think that's enough, some people won't. It's all about opinions. I thought Kent and Morelos, particularly for the first 20-25 minutes, supported and prodded for the 3 midfield players. Both were excellent.
Superb.
And Hadji was good, you know.
Absolutely, Ox. Morelos tonight, what a performance. And Kent, as you say, Kent's running with the ball at defenders. That in itself was worth, you would pay the money just to go and watch. And we know he's got that. And as Rudy and that says there, we can't play like that in our country because the teams just defend. But when Gerrard got us, we've been playing that way for 3 years under him now. Obviously, to add better players, but against teams in Europe, they open up. And when teams open up, as Rudy says, we're capable of scoring all sorts of goals. Yes, we'll let a few in, but the game's all about scoring. And the night for me, never at any time, Ox, did I ever think we were in any danger, even when they got a couple of goals. We were brilliant tonight, we really were.
You're here, Blue.
Yeah, Davey, in you come, mate. Great performance. Well, Davey's still with us, is he? No. Gary B.
I think it's the age of them. Sorry, I think it's the age of them. I think it's the age of them as well. When you look at the age of Aribo, the age of Hadji, the age of Ken, Alfie, you know. Also, you've got Golston and Hollander and that have got a bit more experience. Probably Tav, a bit older again. Stephen Davis in there. With Arfield. So, but we've got a young sort of forward, sort of 4 or 5, and we're playing them forward and they're learning all the time. And obviously, like you've all said, the way we play the system, Blue Star says it. And also, we had player like Hadji gets more time in Europe. So, that's all helped us the night and the progression of the players. But they're learning and they're all still young, you know. So, we've got to remember that as well.
Take this, Rooney's quickly. 1 word answer. You hear that, Gary? 1 word answer. Who do you fancy? Roma, Milan, Man United, Spurs, Arsenal, Granada, Villarreal, Kiev, Zagreb, Olympiacos, Ajax, Shakhtar, Molde, Prague, and Young Boys. Right, I know you always go for the Young Boys, Port Bear, so I'll move on to South Side. Port Bear, quickly.
Man United, mate.
Man United, South Side.
I just want to progress. I'm sticking with Mould.
I like it. Blue Star.
Mould, without a doubt. We went through.
Gary.
Spurs.
Who's the other caller? I've got that many names in front of me. I think it's Jim. Jim?
Yep. Shakhtar.
No.
240 travel.
Rudy?
Ukraine.
Ajax for me, Ox.
Ajax. Oh, I'll go with my mate Southside. Now, Mouldy, get us into the last day.
Yeah,
definitely. Right, lads. We've reached that time of the evening. I think we've smashed records on Rangers Radio, Port Bear. The most callers we've ever had on a show.
Aye. You know, as I keep saying, mate, this show's going from strength to strength. I'd love to, thank everyone who calls tonight. It's phoned in. Far too many to mention, mate, as you know.
I've got the list. Yeah.
You got a list? Oh, good. But I just want to thank all the guys in the panel, and thank all the ones that listen all over the world. My Facebook page and my YouTube.
Come on, Isaac.
And I'll pass it to you, mate. There you go.
Southside, last one.
Aye, mate, it's been a great night. It's been great to hear all the Bears on. Everybody's in fine fettle, mate. It's been a great performance. And it's good the show's that busy tonight, mate. And it's unfortunate if people never get through, but hope you've enjoyed the show, mate. It's been a good night.
Yeah. Thanks to Amanda, Billy Jarvie, Jaffa, Alex from Wishaw, Baloo, Davey from Cumbernauld, Denver, Gary B, George VK, I hope his tea's alright, Gordon from New Zealand, Jamie from Coatbridge, Jim 115, Jim from Paisley, Starman, John from Burnbank, Cal from Southend, Stevie from Oslo, Robert, Stevie from Larkcall, Tommy from Bognor, Jim in Blue Star, and of course, thanks to Southside, Port Bear and Rudy Bear, and more importantly, Fox and Old School Blue for doing all the work. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night, joined by the one and only JFK, and I'm sure the view from our bridge will be rather exciting. Thanks for listening, stay safe, and remember, we are the people.
You're alone in here. wish that you'd never been born. That's a shame, 'cause you got the lot. Hey, yeah, you with a sad face, come up to my place and live it up. You beside the dance floor, what do you cry for? Let's live it up. If you smile, the walls will fall down on all the people in this pickup joint. But if you laugh, you level this town. Hey, lonely girl, that's just the point. Hey, yeah, you with a sad face, come up to my place and live it up. You beside the dance floor, what do you cry for? Let's live it up. Just answer me the question why. You stand alone by the phone in the corner. You cry, baby. How can you see looking through those tears? Don't you know you're worth your weight in gold? I can't believe that you're alone in here. Let me warm your hands against the cold. If you smile, the walls fall down on all the people in this pickup joint. But if you laugh, you level this town. Hey, lonely girl, that's just the point. Hey, yeah, you with a sad face, come up to my place and live it up. You beside the dance floor, what do you cry for? Let's live it up. Let's live it up. Live it up. Live it up. Hey, yeah, you with a sad face, come up to my place.